So this last weekend we drove to Phoenix for this presentation that we did called StorePoint. It was at this conference and it was about a 7-hour drive and it was so awesome. When we got there, we stayed at this beautiful resort where everyone comes in to get prepared to do their presentations. So every morning you go out, you get breakfast, and then you start getting ready for your presentation to your boardroom. And so you're filled with all this anticipation and excitement when you're walking there. The whole experience is super thrilling.
Okay, so I'm getting ready to go in and do the presentation, which I'm really excited for. There's this part of anticipation, you know, like right before you go off of a roller coaster and you're gonna take the plunge. But this was a little intimidating because it's all full of older men. And so here I'm this young 30-year-old woman who's coming in and trying to sell them decor. And so it's like, okay, bring on the confidence, bring on the all of the excitement and passion and everything. So here we go. I'm excited. I've got a lot of, it's not nerves, but excited butterflies, not nervous butterflies. So we're at StorePoint, and what StorePoint is it's a place where we can meet with a bunch of people that could be interested in decor. Generally how it works is you go to a trade show and then people walk around and then they see if they're interested, but they're not quite sure. We're here. Everybody in their room has multiple stores. Some of them have, 2,600 storage, which is insane. And so this is a way that we can get out and we can talk to them one-on-one while we are doing a presentation in the boardroom, and then we talk to them one-on-one. Oh, people are walking in. Okay, fine. Yes. We got this. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So we are with DecorWorks, and jump in here, here's what we do.
As our name says, we do decor work, and so everything that somebody would need, from branding to photography to the interior decor layout, the design work, manufacturing and install, we do every part and piece. And we can do all of it, or we can just do parts of it. And we're very, very flexible, relationship oriented, but you can count on, we like to joke we go with some of our customers, we're one throat to choke. If there's a problem, it comes right back to us. And so we can handle all aspects of the interior design and decor piece that you have. As far as our core purpose, we want to kind of put this up here. We have this throughout our buildings, our offices. We've got about 75 employees, but we bring this up. Our core purpose as a business is to help organizations succeed. Whenever we do a remodel or a redesign, we're always back with the store saying, how's it going? Is your sales increasing? Is business working like you're wanting to do? And then we follow up to make sure that the store is looking good continually. So our purpose is to help organizations succeed, and we do this by elevating their image so that they can create meaningful experiences for the customers. And we know now with the retail climate the way it is, it's all about those experiences, that gut feeling when your guest walks in the store and the experience that they have. And we really focus on that, whether we're coming in on the branding portion of it or working with the good concept that you already have. We'll kind of explore that just to make sure that the proper emphasis is in the right places for that experience.
Yeah, so last night when the gentleman was doing a speech, I was like, this is the best thing ever. We're talking about experiences. Dave can tell you that I was taking notes the whole time, because there's something about bringing the guests in that's changing from what it was before. And so when he was talking last night, I'm like, hey, this guy, he knows our language. And so that's what was so exciting, is now it's permeating through all of the stores.
So she was at Disneyland just a couple weeks ago, and so she was like, afterwards, my daughter walked up and they were calling her, she had a princess dress on, and they were bowing to her and making those moments, and so that experience
it really does matter.
A big part.
So this is something that, as a company, we've been around for a little over 20 years, and what has really helped us be successful is we strive to understand your role and what your stresses are. Because you've got a lot of demands coming from on top, you've got a lot of pressures from below, and then you're coordinating a ton with suppliers. And so you're moving pieces all over. And so to have someone come in that understands your pain points and understands those things that are really stressing you out, This is where we're coming in, and we've built our company around the problem solving and trying to help alleviate that stress.
So over the last 20 years, as she's talked about in meeting with various different store development companies, these tend to be the pain points that we find: communication, innovation, relationship, effort or lack of effort, full service decor, too complicated process, and or the quality or craftsmanship. Now, like I say, they're in no particular order, but we have found that these are the ones that people tend to rely on. I mean, communication, how many people feel like communication can be a pain point and something that you work with? And so for us, we've tried to specialize and find ways to alleviate the communication or miscommunication, or there's too much communication, but putting some of that together.
So we work with a client named Macy's, and they are owned by a co-op. Oops, sorry, I didn't say. Stand right here in between. So they're owned by a co-op. So they've got about 43 stores that either are transitioning or have remodeled, and they've got 13 people that on the decor side that are working in and trying to communicate. So the communication for them is a huge stressor. They don't know who's putting what in and what order things are in and how much their budget is at. And so what we've done is over the last couple of years and saying, okay, how can we help alleviate their stress? How can we, as their supplier and as a partnership, come in and get on the same page and help their process? So what we've done is what we call a dashboard.
And this is something that we put together. Again, they have their own in-house design, and we're coordinating with their store development, and then actually the people that run the stores, as Tania was saying, are all coming in from different directions. And so we create this portal, and as many stores as they have going, each one of these portals exists. And the point of it is they can get in and get a quick look of what real time's happening with the store. For example, if they want to know where things are at, 7% of the portion is still in sales needing to be approved or customer approval. And then each one of these actually go back to what we call a master sheet where we're tracking them. But we take this information and put it on this portal. So you guys, whether you're wondering what's going on at 3 in the morning or somebody's calling you, you can quickly open this up and know the status. For example, one of the things that people love the most is we've got this project photos. Our guys, they're in working at night. You want to know where's the project at. Every night before they leave, they're taking pictures of the job and uploading them to this portal. You come in, click on your browser or just on your iPad, it'll take you to the screen, and then you can open up and look at those photos of what happened the previous night, so that you're not wondering. And some of you've got stores across the country. It's not like you can fly out and check everything out, or you have so many stores and so many projects, it's hard to keep up. We've just found that this dashboard helps keep, and we can program this to any way you want it to be. In this particular case, they wanted to see what the total cost of the job was, what payments were received, the remaining balance, and then so that they have that information. The other thing is that we put your contacts up on here. Now, we have an inside and an outside. Laura here is over our business development. She's out, she's traveled, she's doing quite a bit, but in this case, Chandra is always on the inside. You've always got a point of contact, someone to call, someone that knows your job, just inputting the information and tracking it. And so that information is there. But this is just kind of an example how these 13 different people all can go to one spot, see what jobs have been uploaded, what files have been uploaded from their design team. They can track where things are at. But like we say, it's customizable, but it really, really alleviated a lot of confusion.
So we've got sort of different clients. So these guys, what helped relieve their stress was knowing the details, was knowing the photos the night before, and that's what they wanted. Now we have another customer, so the next one, and they didn't want the details. They just wanted to say, okay, here's my project, here's my deadline and my budget, and I expect you to hit it. And so how we approached with these guys is we collaborated in the beginning, then we pulled out.
Yeah,
or they pulled out. We didn't pull out. They pulled out.
This is B&R Stores based out of Lincoln, Nebraska. They've got about 30 stores, and this is the Russ's Market. Like she said in the beginning, they were really heavy as we entered into the design process. They were having a lack of innovation from their current decor company that they were using. They just kept asking, and they kept kind of getting the same thing again and again and again. And so that's where we had the opportunity to get in with them. And we really dove in deep, looking at their demographics, what they wanted to have happen, who's shopping the store, who's not shopping the store. But after we got through that phase, they were like, okay, here's the date we need it open, we'll talk to you when it's done. Of course, we were sending them some emails, but they didn't need continual updates. In fact, they didn't want them. They were busy, they had work to do. They just wanted to make sure that we were on time and on budget.
So Mark Griffin, what he says is DecoreWorks takes care of everything every step of the way. We didn't have to stay deeply immersed in the project. We knew DecoreWorks was taking care of everything, and we stepped out of the way. The outcome has been outstanding. Our sales are up in our most recent stores of 18 months of decline. And so this is where, for them to relieve his stress, is he laid out the expectations in the beginning and worked a little bit different than our previous company, Macy's.
And we understand with you guys, each one of you are different. So each one of you are going to have a different need. And that's where we really rely on building a relationship with you to make sure that we're understanding what your needs are. We don't try to stuff you into some box and say, well, this is the way we do things. We're very flexible in the way we kind of reach out, but it's all about building this relationship that we find is key.
Okay, so relationship with Frank and here is fantastic. One of our strongest relationships is with Harmon's. It's been so fantastic because the stronger our relationship gets, the more we can collaborate. So Frank or Dean, the president, can call up and say, hey, we want a bike rack. And we're like, okay, we're going to do a bike rack. And they're like, no, we wanted a fish. And let's have the head and the tail move. And so because we've got this relationship that we can call back and forth and really collaborate, we can make some amazing things. So if you see here in Harmon's, we handcraft everything. Because we do the design, the engineering, the manufacturing, we can produce some crazy quality products. Okay, that was kind of a weird sentence.
But what she's saying is that we have a full wood shop, welding shop, paint shop. We can
do lighting, and so you see how intricate Harmon's gets. Harmon's always has their expectations for each store rises, and so it's like this next one coming up. It's like, okay, what are we going to innovate? Where are we going to get excited? How are we going to start collaborating? Because that relationship is so fantastic, it makes the project even more successful, and that's what helps us be on the same page. So Frank is pretty fantastic. So Frank has a close relationship with us, and he's taken it and he's really helping me understand what I can do to help the process, and he's really bringing it in because we've established that relationship and it's been so close.
Frank, we don't want to pick on you at all, but can we pick on you now?
So one thing I will say is the relationship is important. One thing that they've helped us with is telling the story about who we are. Each company needs to know who you are to tell your customer, and that's where that experience comes in. And they've helped us a lot with that. And you're always going to have the face behind people that do the work, and so that was important to me. So Jeff called me for 5 or 6 years before we finally gave him a chance to do the store, and you've been with him for now, 15 days. But that's what we inspired to raise our bar. So they help us do that.
Thank you.
And a great partner in the fact that, like we talk about, that collaboration, they push us to come up with bolder ideas, new innovative concepts, and so it's a great partnership.
Okay, so effort. This is something I don't know. Well, with this next customer is their company before us. They had a hard time getting them to put in the effort. They're saying, okay, we need you to help us progress the store. We need you to help do this. And they're like, oh, we don't know. Because it takes a ton of effort to know what trends are going on, to know what machinery to bring in, to know what to invest in on the manufacturing side. And so they just weren't getting that response from their current decor company.
So this is with Hen House, Falls Food. They have some price choppers. They're located in the Kansas City area. And the problem, like she was mentioning, is they couldn't get, because up front they have their own designer. And on the back end they have their own install team. The manufacturing company in the middle, when the designer would call and ask for something or get some ideas, they just said, well, send it over and do the drawings and we'll get you a price. And they just didn't want to step outside of that because they're not getting paid for the design, and so they really didn't want to put anything with it. And one thing with us is we don't charge upfront fees for our design. We'll come in with concepts. If you like our stuff, then great, we've earned our way in. And so getting in with Hen House, we were able to work with them, and their designer had some ideas. I'm full, for example, their beer and wine department. They wanted to put a beer cave in, and they got with us. And so we innovated different materials, different products different ways to be able to make things happen. And they came and they were ecstatic about the fact that we didn't say no, we said, let's come up with some ideas. David Ball, the president, he says this, he says, it's about the overall value. I'm excited to work with a company that has such a can-do attitude. I mean, Frank, have we ever kind of thrown a no at you? It's always, we're going to try to figure this out and come up with.
We don't accept them no.
That's true.
So what has been so unique with this is generally you'll have companies that come in that either just do the design or manufacturing and installation, or they only offer the full thing. So when working with their designer, he was really excited because we came in and he was pushing out some of these locators. And we said, okay, well, what if we change this here and weld this a little bit differently? It will last longer, but we can still hit the same price. So we were able to collaborate on something that was small. With our knowledge paired with his, we were able to create this stellar product. And what he says here is DecorWorks' attitude about figuring out the problem is what I appreciate the most. Everyone else says they care, but you really do. They make it enjoyable. That was from Jeff Maple.
So with this company, they're a large company, Brookshire. They have about 180 stores. They're located in Texas. And they were having a difficulty and they wanted to update their design, their concepts. But again, they were getting kind of a lack of effort. The previous company, time they had done designs, they used a design company. They were hit with exorbitant fees. They said it drove us crazy. Every time we called, the timer was going. And he said one time we actually got billed for lunch and we were asking, why have we got this lunch bill here? And he says, well, our meeting went into lunch, and so we needed to charge you to pay for everybody's lunch because they were still there. And like we say, with us, we just sat down and said, try us out, work with us. And so we did work with Brookshire from beginning to end. We were going to do with one store and do a prototype and see how it worked out. As we went through the process and began the design process, the upper management, the owners of the company loved it so much, they gave us 20 stores. And we handle everything from them, from the initial design all the way through. We even do their store layout drawings. They change some things around in the department, so we get basic interior elevations. We lay out all of the decor. We've got the pieces. They send it back with an itemized pricing so they know what each thing's going to cost them. They approve that. Sometimes they'll add something. Sometimes they'll make a couple change. But then it's hands off, and we're working. Our project managers are working with their project managers. We're just hitting the dates and delivering on time and in budget every time. But they're using us for everything on their stores.
These guys were a little nervous because they'd been with their other decor company for about 15 years. So to switch decor companies was a little daunting. They weren't quite sure how all of the process was going to go because it was different. What they said here is it's been smoother than it was expected to be. Communication has been great. Once we started seeing the designs, we wanted to see it sooner. So once we started getting in and they started getting excited about what we were designing, then the timetable got moved up forward and they're like, we want it now. We don't want to wait on these stores we're currently doing. Let's hit the ground running. And so then that's where the relationship has really started to grow and we're now able to problem solve because we were on the ground with them.
And you can hop to the next one. I'm just going to kind of, you want to move it over to kind of that closing
Oh yeah, let's do that.
piece. Thank you so much. We go out and we visit with you. It's not a matter of saying, what can we do over the internet? What can we do as far as Skyping? If you want to Skype and you want to communicate that way, we're fully up to it. But the other thing that most people talk with us about is your boots on the ground. You'll actually go out and look at the stores. You'll take measurements. You'll look at some of the difficult things. We invest in that. We invest in hitting your pain points, and that's where we come to you. You don't have to worry about, or is there going to be a charge to have us come out? Is there going to be a charge with these fees and the concepts? We are confident enough in our design that when we come out and visit with you, that we'll get it right. And very rarely do we not get it right. And if we don't, we continue working until we do.
And then the no upfront fees is big, especially if you work with the design company, because that's how they make all of their revenue. Or because we are full service, we're able to weigh things out back and forth. And so this is something that we offer our customers that has been so fantastic in starting that relationship from the beginning. And then, like we said, full service. So anything from branding and photography all the way to installation, we've got a huge crew and that is very talented. So wherever you want us to insert yourselves, we can come in with that portion or to the whole thing.
We'll hand you out some of these booklets talk a little bit about us, but we've won like 20 national awards for our design and our quality and things like that are great. But we wanted to give you guys a couple minutes. I know you're getting this information, but what are your pain points? What are some things that you have maybe even have some questions on as far as what we do and some of the services?
Where are you located?
We're located in Utah. And so, but we do work nationally. I was mentioning that I've been in Wisconsin. I was back in Philadelphia. And I bring this up, I usually don't. I'm the owner of the company, but I love to get out. I love to be involved in the sales. So I'm going to be in your store. We've got 10 salespeople, but I'm going to often show up with them. I like traveling with them. I like visiting with you guys. And then I like coming in after the grand openings or right at the grand openings to make sure things are done right. I've got a huge passion for it. And that's why I'm here, is just because of the passion for coming in and what we do.
And then I'm the COO, but I'm the one that's taking over. So this is my dad, which is awesome. So I'm out here, I'm meeting everybody that's going to help me and as we transition the company in the future. So getting to know you and your pain points helps me understand all the intricacies now so that as we make a transition, I'm on the ground running.
So after our presentation, what is called the boardrooms, is all of the executives, they go in and they rate us in an app. And in the app, they give us stars from 1 to 4. So 4 means that we did fantastic, and then 1 means obviously we need improvement. So on the first day, 7 out of the 9 said that we did fantastic. 2 of them said that we were too small, which is an okay comment. But in here, they go in and they tell us what they liked about the presentation and who we need to contact if they want to move forward. So this comment I really loved. And it says, I really liked your focus on customers' value engineering and that you helped Harmons tell who they were. Also cool to see that you were in the family ownership. I said that weird. So you can go in here and see all of the different people that we met with and the comments that they were leaving. This is what's so great is we were able to schedule one-on-ones with these guys after our boardrooms and tell them more about what we do and give them more examples and really start to create the relationship that generally takes months to create or even years. So this format is very efficient and it's really exciting because you can see the energy that they have behind their stores as well. So I just got done doing our one-on-ones, which was a lot of fun. Okay, you know, if I wasn't doing all of this stuff at work, well, with my role, I'd totally be a salesperson. There's something that's so exciting about talking to people, talking about what it is that you love, because I'm super passionate about what we do, obviously. Like creating experiences is, I don't know if you could be in a better job. And getting them excited, and then on top of that, it's like you're making a friendship around it. And so it's so fun. So we just did our one-on-ones, which was every 15 minutes. We had someone new that was coming in. And so every 15 minutes, it's like, okay, what are they going to throw at me? How am I going to be excited about this? How am I going to show them the passion? And so it just is a blast. Something that will be fun to look back on in a couple years when I'm going through these videos again is, you know, I'm here now and I'm 29, well, turning 29 in a couple weeks. Turning 29, and people think I'm much younger. And so when they ask me what I do and what my role is, it's like they kind of are taken back, like, oh man, what is she doing? Other people think it's really cool. So in our presentation this morning, we talked about how I'm learning the things to take over from my dad, and they're like, really? What does that look like? And so we've had lots of people that have thought it's really cool, and then a couple people that think that our company is really small because the owner here and the next, you know, owner, CEO is here too. And so I'm not quite sure if it's good or bad, but it's been fun to show people that I know what I'm talking about, that it is, that I have a passion for it, even though I look young and even though, you know, I'm not as impressive in stature. It kind of sounds funny, but really, this is
totally a blast. I love this. I could do this all the time. Other than I do miss the girls. I really miss the girls, and I really miss Andrew. It's like part of my heart still is at home. And so, yeah, there's you kind of feel that torn. You know, the guilty, like, oh, I'm here in the warm weather and Andrew's at home fixing dinner for the girls, and I don't know how his night is going, and so there's that piece. But yeah, oh,